Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So, sister, motivation is not enough. Not enough. So this was actually, I was inspired to record this podcast episode and actually did a Facebook post, which was the shortened version, which I'll reference here in the show notes as well. But this was a comment that I got from one of the women inside the Women Wanting More experience, which, by the way, is a free Facebook community I created. There's over 1,100 women in there. And so make sure to go to Facebook, search Women Wanting More experience, and request to be added to the group. And you can be inside that powerful group of women. And so one woman had brought up commented about, what she wanted in 2018 was to be motivated, like to find motivation or to be more motivated. And this is not to pick on her at all, because there's a lot of women that I've spoken to over the years that have said the same thing. Like, if I only had the motivation. I also hear this comment about discipline. If I was only more disciplined, if I had discipline, then I could do it. Or if I had, if I had the right planner or the right system. Somehow there's something outside of yourself that you feel is going to be the missing link. Although you might go, motivation is intrinsic, but the thing is that it's really not, right? When people will say, like, I watched this video because it really gets me motivated. I have some of you tell me, listen to the podcast. You're like, oh, it really motivates me to listen to the podcast, and thank you so much. And that's lovely and wonderful. The challenge is I'm not in your ear all the time. Motivation is not the answer. It's not about motivation. What it's really about, sister, is this. Commitment. Commitment. Motivated is short term, right? Like, oh, that really motivated me to do something. No, it motivates you to take a step. Commitment is the key that will keep those feet moving. Commitment will keep the steps moving. Commitment means you do what you're willing, but you're willing to do what you say you're going to do, and you do what you say that you're going to do, no matter what. Doesn't matter if you don't feel like it. Doesn't matter if you're having an off day. It doesn't matter if things are not working out according to plan. You do what you say that you're going to do, no matter what. That's commitment. 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 So as we're moving into a new year, this is actually coming out over the Christmas holidays, or between Christmas and New Year's, this episode, I want you to really think about this. It's not discipline. Commitment. Commitment. So how do you actually get committed? Is the next piece of this, right? How do you get committed? It's not motivation. It's not discipline. Like, commitment. Okay, cool. How do you get committed? Well, you first have to have clarity on what you want. Like, you can't commit to something. So, let's put it this way. Let me give you some context. I was motivated after I watched a Ronda Rousey video. This is now, 2.5 almost years ago. She had a video that came out that went viral, which is not like a produced video, when she was still fighting, because she's essentially kind of out of MMA right now, out of the UFC, I think, after her last couple losses. But when she was on top of her game, she had a video which was her just seeing her training and sitting in a hotel room and talking, and nothing that it looked like was meant to be anything, but it's one of those things where it just kind of hit and it went viral. And she talked about being a do-nothing bitch. How she said that her mother always told her, not to be a do-nothing bitch. That her body was not made for, in her words, fucking millionaires. And, basically what she was saying is like, look, I'm not going to be a do-nothing bitch. I'm not going to sit around and have a man take care of me or, not do anything. Like, I'm taking action. I'm creating my life. That's what I heard from it, right? But I'm seeing this woman who's like strong, and she's like putting wraps on, and she's talking, and she's very bold and, in your face and aggressive and abrasive. And I'm like, this chick speaks my language. I like her, right? So I'm watching this, and I was motivated after watching that video to start boxing. I was motivated to start boxing. Now, I actually didn't box till probably, almost a year later, probably 10 months later, 9 months later, that I actually, did something about it. And what got me to that place was a commitment. I set outcomes. And in those outcomes was, I'm going to work with a trainer. I'm going to find a trainer first. I'm going to work X number of times, right? Okay, so that happened when I was in Alberta. We moved to Victoria. I found a new coach. I made a commitment with my new coach, Rob, that we would set up training at that time. So that was in September 2016, twice a week for the rest of the year. And by the end of that time period, by the end of that year, end of 2016, I would decide whether or not I was going to actually fight. Like whether I was going to take this beyond like I'm training and now I'm training to fight, actually get in the ring or a tournament. That was a commitment that I made. Okay? Now, are there times that I woke up in the morning and I was not motivated to go? Of course. Are there times that it was difficult trying to, create the mindset piece, which is such a big piece of life, but it's a big piece of fighting. That's why I love fighting so much in boxing. There's so many analogies to life that it's relevant with. Was there times that I wasn't motivated? Of course. Of course, that I'm feeling beaten down and I can't get this and fuck, this is so hard. It was not my motivation that kept me going, because believe me, in those times, sister, I was not motivated. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm a woman in her late 40s. Like, what am I doing this for? This is crazy. Now, this happened too when I then decided at the end of the year, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go for it. And then the following October, so October of this year, 2017, was my tournament. Now, if you listen to the podcast for a while, you can know that that tournament never happened because they did not have an opponent for me. It happens sometimes. It happens. So it's what is, and I moved on, and the experience of self-training was great. But yeah, there were times that I was not as motivated to go to a second training session in that day, while still running my business, while still taking care of kids, while still being married and everything else that goes to piece with that. But I was committed to being in that tournament. Committed. Which meant I was willing to do whatever it took. So if it meant that I trained with Rob at 1 o'clock that day and I came back for the 6 o'clock class, the group class that night, so be it. If it meant that I was doing conditioning work on my own, during rowing repeats, hill runs, I would do it. Because I made a commitment to working as hard as I could leading up to that tournament. Because I didn't want to walk into that tournament and feel that, man, I wish I would have trained harder. I didn't want that feeling. I wanted to know that I gave it everything. And that my result in that tournament was going to be dependent on all of that training. And it wasn't because if things didn't go the way that I wanted them to, or I didn't win, that I wasn't like, oh, I should have trained more. That was a commitment I made to myself. I was committed. See, it's not about discipline. It's not about motivation. Discipline is a choice. Motivation is short-lived. Commitment is what you fucking need, sister. And it's the thing that most are unwilling to make. It's funny. I hear people say these things also too. It's like, well, if I commit and I don't actually get it, and therefore, in their words, I fail, that would suck. So I'm just not going to commit to anything. Okay, cool. Does that get you what you want? Maybe. Maybe you just want to stay where you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're clear, it's like, dude, I'm good. I'm good making this amount of money. I'm good where I'm with my family. I'm good with my body. Like, there's nothing I want to change. Awesome. But, you're listening to a podcast right now, which is called Women Wanting More. So I think I'm preaching to the choir here when it comes down to, you're looking for more within your life. That mediocrity and same old and status quo just is not for you. Commitment. So here's your more tip for today then, sister. What is one outcome that you've been wanting to create? I mean one. In your body. Maybe it's, as we're approaching the new year, as you probably know, one of the biggest New Year's resolutions is weight loss. Quitting smoking. Those two, but weight loss, number one, right? Maybe it's weight loss is something you've been wanting to achieve as an outcome. Maybe you're wanting to create more of a connection within your marriage. Maybe you're wanting to spend more quality time with your children. Maybe you have an idea for business that you've wanted to do, or you want to make more money within your business, or you want to, create more within your existing business, like whatever that is. I don't know. What is your outcome? What is the one thing you're wanting to create? Choose one, not a whole bunch, one. Figure out your deep why. This is step 2. So first of all, identify what is the one outcome. Second piece of this, what is your deep why? What is the reason why you want this? And you keep asking yourself the question, why? So if you go, well, I'm going to lose weight because I want to be healthy. Great. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because I just don't have the energy anymore. Awesome. So why does it matter that you have more energy? Like, you keep going and you're going to land. When you hit that deep why, you'll know because you feel it. You will feel something. So there's no way. It's not like, I'll do it so many times and then bing, out it comes like you've baked a cake. Like, you will know, but this is the work you do by journaling. Right? All of us, you're going to journal. So what is the one outcome that you're wanting to create? What is your deep why? Part 3. This is the big one. It's a big more tip for today. Part 3. What are the actions that are required to get you what you want, to create that outcome? And number 4, it's a simple question. Am I willing to commit? That means you do what you're willing. You do what you say that you're going to do. There's no excuses. There's no lies. There's no reasons. You simply do the fucking work. Are you willing to commit? It's a yes or a no. It's not a depends. It's not a maybe. It's not when you feel like it. It's a yes or no. That's it. Yes or no. And see what insights come from this, sister. So journal, I'm going to give you for free. I still have some. This is not something that's going to be running forever. There's 308 that I've now sent to 12 to 14 countries around the world. I would love to send one to you for free. Just take care of a little bit of shipping, and I do all the rest for you, sister. So that's over at drkarenosborn.com/free journal. And if you head over to that One Wanting More Experience Facebook group that I referenced before, links for all this will be in the show notes. Then you're going to see there's journal prompts actually in there, like 2 or 3 a week, either video or mostly written, to really start you on this process of creating a life of more. And oh my gosh, there are so many of you that are not receiving the One Wanting More newsletter. Like, what the hell? Do you know that these are the women that get to hear everything first? This is VIP access, new products, new events, my book that's coming out finally in 2018. I'm creating some really cool shit. I can't wait to share it with you soon. So women that are actually receiving the newsletter, you get first dibs on it. So here's what you need to do. Head over to drkarenosborn.com. You're going to see my face when you come in. You're going to enter in your email, and I will also send you the More for Action guide, which is how to start your day in power, along with the video training that comes with that. And you will get hooked up. So I will talk the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.